Hi, dear cricket fans, subscribers, and friends of Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram welcoming you to your daily edition of Cricket Happenings today. Now, as far as cricket happening is concerned, well, the ICC Cricket World Cup 2011 saw a match between Kenya and Pakistan today at the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium here in Hambantota in Sri Lanka. And well, Pakistan just walked over Kenya there. In fact, it was a no contest here because Pakistan batting first amassed 317 for 7. Yes, they definitely had problems when Kenya had the new ball because Otino and Odoyo, Thomas Odoyo is an experienced bowler, was the best bowler today in the show. 7 overs, 2 maidens, 41 runs and 3 wickets. And Ahmed Shahzad, and Elijah Otino bowled very well in the good areas, and that made Mohammad Hafiz and Ahmed Shahzad really struggled. If you see the score, with the score on the sixth over at 11, with the score on 11, Ahmed Shahzad left as both the openers were dismissed very cheaply for just 12 runs on the board for Pakistan. So that was something which Pakistan would be very seriously looking at. Ahmed Shahzad was caught by Kamandi of the bowling of Odoyo for 1, and Mohammad Hafiz was caught by Seren Waters of the bowling of Otino for 9, and both of them were in the pavilion. After that, Kamran Akmal and Yunis Khan stitched together a partnership, almost 98 runs, but it was a very, I would say, they played with a lot of there were some percentage strokes as far as Kamran Akmal and Yunis Khan were concerned. They were trying to get the singles. Yunis Khan was more into an accumulation mode. As far as Kamran Akmal was concerned, well, he was stroking the ball, but again, it was not. He was playing sedately as the spinners were put into operation. Nehemiah Odiambo was a bit costly. His 7 overs caught him 65 runs, but Gochi bowled very well, playing his first World Cup as Gochi, the off spinner. 10 overs, no made him 146. And other than that, they took on the partnership to 110 in the 25th over when Kamran Akmal fell, when Gochi got his first wicket in the World Cup there, as Kamran Akmal was stumped by Omar, the bowling of Gochi for 55, 67 balls with 5 fours. Yunis Khan was there and he got company from Misbah ul Haq now. But Misbah ul Haq, and they pushed on the score, and Misbah ul Haq started off in a very aggressive fashion by hitting the first ball that he faced for a 6 of Steve Ticolo straight over his head. It was set, and Misbah ul Haq was there, but Yunis Khan finally fell a victim to Ticolo. It was LBW ball Ticolo for 50 of 67 balls, 2 fours. But I thought Kamran Akmal, Yunis Khan had done a good job by steadying the ship for Pakistan there, and Umar Akmal joined, and this was the time where the score was 155-4 in 34th over, and looked like Kenya were doing well at that stage, 155-4 in 34th over. But after that, Misbah ul Haq walked, in fact, Umar Akmal walked in, and the urgency to the proceedings was immediately there because Umar Akmal started playing some delightful strokes, and Misbah ul Haq was the one who was, as you know, was the accumulator. It was Umar Akmal who was stroking the ball. Misbah ul Haq was the one who was actually playing a waiting game. But finally, this partnership was absolutely superb because it yielded a lot of runs in the power play too. Took on the score to 273. So it was 112 runs added in 10 overs in the power play not in the power play, in the last 10 overs by Pakistan. And Misbah ul Haq finally, after making 65 69 balls, 1 4 and 2 6, left the scene. Scott Indian ball Kamande. Umar Akmal contributed 71 of 52 balls with 8 fours and 1 6. Odoyo actually picked up 2 quick wickets of Umar Akmal and Shahid Afridi. Was LBW ball Odoyo for 7 of 4 balls. Abdul Razak was not out on 8. Abdul Rahman not out 5. 317 for 7 on the board for Pakistan. And the bowling figures were Colin Subuya 1 over for 5 runs. Ticolo 9 overs 144. Kamande captain 7 overs no maiden 1 for 64. And Otino 9 overs 1 maiden 149. The best was 3 for 41 with 7 overs and 2 maidens for Thomas Odoyo, the experienced pace bowler who bowled really well. Well, looking at the Kenyan innings, Kenyan innings was, as I said, was totally no contest. But what was interesting was the opening wicketkeeper batsman Maurice Oma and Seren Waters, who has been talked about as a lot of talent in Kenya, were actually coming well behind the ball. In fact, Seren Waters really survived the first spell where Shoaib Akhtar actually beat him 3 times, and Shoaib Akhtar was bowling very well today. His figures of 5 overs, 1 maiden, 10 runs and no wicket. But Maurice Oma, and both of them were actually having good defense. They were showing good technique, getting behind the line of the ball. But finally, Maurice Oma and the openers actually realized 37 of 9 overs, which was good going. But then the first time Umar Gul was introduced in the attack, Sorry, it was Seren Waters who was run out for 17 of 31 balls with 2 fours. After that, Maurice Oma followed him, caught behind the bowling of Umar Gul for 16 of 37 balls with 1 4. And then Steve Tikolo. Once Steve Tikolo went, clean ball. He was the most experienced batsman for Kenyan innings, for the Kenyan team. But, well, Steve Tikolo left clean ball by Shahid Afridi. Shahid Afridi came in and really spun a web. Not only spun a web, he really just tore through the Kenyan innings. He just ran through the Kenyan batting order there. Steve Tikolo was first to go, bowled Shahid Afridi for 33 balls. Tanmay Mishra was LBW bowled Shahid Afridi for 6. Rakib Patel was caught by Umar Akmal bowling of Mohammad Hafiz for a duck, and then Shahid Afridi picked up the captain LBW for a duck for 2, and Thomas O'Day was LBW by Shahid Afridi for a duck. And finally, Shahid Afridi ran through the orders. He bowled some very good leg spinners, a lot of mixing up, like quicker deliveries, and it was a real concoction there. And finally Odiambo, and after that all the other tailenders just made ducks run out for a duck. Gochi was bowled Umar Gul duck, Etino not out duck. The only person who was the highest scorer was Colin Sobuya, who struck 3 fiercely hit sixes and 3 fours in his score of 47 of 58 balls, but he too fell a victim to Afridi, caught by Ahmed Shahzad, the bowling of Shahid Afridi. He was the highest scorer, 112 all out Kenya, in reply to Pakistan's 317 for 7, and I would say it's a massive victory for Pakistan. It was the highest margin of victory that Pakistan ever had in a World Cup. They won this match by 205 runs. And as far as the bowling figures were concerned, with Shahid Afridi, who bowled 8 overs, 3 made, and 16 runs and 5 wickets, actually breaking the world record, not the world record, the record held by Wasim Akram, who had 5 wickets against Namibia. So Shahid Afridi broke that record with Wasim Akram at 5 for 28 against Namibia, the former fast bowler and now the commentator. Shahid Afridi broke that record, 8 overs, 3 made, 16 runs, 5 wickets. Mohammad Hafiz, 4 overs, 1 made and 1 for 26. Abdul Rahman bowled well, 7 overs, 1 made and none for 18. Umar Gul, 4.1 overs, no made and 12 runs and 2 wickets. And the pace bowlers, Razak, 5 overs, 1 made and none for 23. And 5 overs, 1 made and none for 10 for Shoaib Akhtar. Man of the match went to Umar Akmal. Well, dear fans, as I said, it was absolutely a no contest there. Kenya couldn't really put up anything. The only thing that they did was they stretched the match to 34 overs. Probably they did better than what they did against New Zealand, and they scored 112, but still lost this match by 205 runs at the Hambantota Mahendra Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium here in Sri Lanka. And as far as Pakistan have got their first points, they got 2 points now in the World Cup. As far as Pakistan were concerned, certain things that we can look into is Misbah-ul Haq getting his first World Cup 50, Umar Akmal getting his first World Cup 50, and surprise of surprise, Yunus Khan playing his third World Cup Cricket World Cup here. Has got his first 50 in the World Cup. So that means Yunus Khan never had a good World Cup before, and this is the first 50 that Yunus Khan has scored in the World Cup. That was a real surprise. And Shahid Afridi breaking the record of Wasim Akram with 5 for 16. That was another feature. As far as Kenya was concerned, what was the only impressive thing about the Kenyan batsmen was Maurice Oma and Seren Waters actually getting well behind the line of the ball, showing some good technique, but then Colin Sobuya entertained with some 47. Other than that, Shahid Afridi ran through the other. Steve Tikolo was the main man who could have done something, but Steve Tikolo also succumbed to a straighter ball from Shahid Afridi for 13, and that was it. After that, the middle order completely caved in to the spin of Shahid Afridi, and that's it. And the tail end absolutely perished for 112. So Kenya innings coming to an end, 112. The positive features here for Shoaib Akhtar was bowling well. He was bowling with a lot of control over his bowling, so that was good to see. Umar Gul bowled well. Shahid Afridi, well, nothing to, I mean, what to say about Shahid Afridi? He bowled marvelously well. Abdul Rahman, none for a team. Well, let me talk about Umar Akmal. Umar Akmal, I would say after a long time, we are seeing Umar Akmal hitting right form at the right time, because they have some good matches coming in for Pakistan now, and I thought that was a superb match. In fact, Pakistan and Sri Lanka are going to clash, so it is good for Pakistan that Umar Akmal has hit real form. He was showing some good timing, good placement, and also in his post interview, Umar Akmal said that he has been given a lot of encouragement by Shahid Afridi and all his teammates, and also Shoaib Akhtar, who have been always gearing him up for the big occasion. So that's good to know. Well, other than that, dear cricket fans, subscribers and friends of Cricket Happenings, a pleasure to bring you this ICC Cricket World Cup Cricket Happenings. Thank you very much for your company. This is your Ram, your host of Cricket Happenings, signing off for the day. Thank you.